Good morning, everybody. Thanks for the introduction. Today, I'm going to talk about the RTA digital asset management practices and BIM implementation. It's just a highlight of what we are doing, not full detail of what we are doing, but it will give you a general idea of where we reached in RTA and the importance of digitalizing the environment at work for related to assets and BIM. So here are the agendas that we're going to go through. RTA assets, vision, and missions. Challenges that we're facing in RTA, BIM approach and strategic roadmap. We have the asset management and BIM. What is the relation between them? BIM implementation processes, the 3 Ps that we have. The concept of CDE throughout asset lifecycle, successful BIM level 2 implementation in projects, samples of some of our works, such as the Route 2020 project, digital implementation cases and international recognition, and some of the training programs and BIM Center. So here is the RTA. In RTA, we have 5 agencies and 3 sectors, covering all modes of transportation. We have the rail agency, we have the Dubai taxi agency, road and traffic and road agency, public transportation agency, and licensing agencies. These are the 5 agencies that mainly operating RTA. And we have the support sectors, which is admin and technology, CTSS, and strategic sector. So here is our vision and mission. Our vision is the world's leader in seamless and sustainable mobility. This is recently we changed this vision and we updated our vision to be the leaders and in this in transportation. Our mission: develop and manage integrated and sustainable road and transportation system at a world-class level and provide pioneer services to all stakeholders for their happiness and support Dubai's visions through shaping the future, developing policies and legislations, adopting technologies, innovation, and world-class practices and standards. Here are, okay, next, yeah. So why we started all this? Of course, anybody in any organization, there are challenges. So we had our own challenges in RTA. That's why we looked into solutions. What are the solutions? Before looking into solutions, we looked deeply into challenges that we are having. One of the challenges is the availability of accurate information for assets registration upon project's handover. So this is really a huge issue with us because we have huge projects. Especially in roads, bridges, tunnels, the metro. So they are huge projects with multi-million, hundreds of millions, and billions of worth of projects. And this is really a huge challenge that we have. Tracking the changes of project design and construction. Again, same things, big projects, big changes and design, and we need to keep track of everything. Readiness of assets information for operation and maintenance activities. After we complete the projects, we need the information to be ready for the operation and maintenance. Again, handing over all these information is a big challenge for us also. Tracking the history of buildings, generating assets. Tracking the history, same issue. Availability of warranty and certification information. This is also a huge issue that we have. Let's say, for example, again, we are talking about multi-millions and multi-billions assets. So in case of warranty, sometimes we face the challenges that we fix things that still under warranty, and because of misunderstanding or misleading information from the information that available recorded for the assets. So now we fix all these things thanks to the things that we did for the systems and BIM and other things. And the last challenge that we have, the need for integration between different assets lifecycle stages. So we have 4 lifecycle stages. We need to integrate between them. Here we are talking about the BIM approach, how we approach these things. Now in UAE, we have 8 federal mandates from UAE, and we have 9 Dubai government mandates. And we also have the 6 pillars of strategic, digital strategic pillars that we are following in RTA. So what we did is that we decided to become a fully data-driven asset owners as a pioneer worldwide in digitizing its assets. We also established a clear, comprehensive roadmap to implement such a change. It's a huge change in RTA, which is affecting all the agencies that we have. And we were also recognized that the implementation of BIM should cover the entire life cycle, and with a strong partnership with the stakeholders and supply chains. All our stakeholders, our agencies are considered our customers, also internal customers, and we have our external customers. So we have to look into the needs of all the partnerships that we have. So we are following all the mandates from the government, either it is federal government or Dubai government mandates, and we are focusing on these 6 pillars, which are people happiness, operational efficiency, asset sustainability, service delivery, information centricity, and innovation pioneering. So if we go to next slide, this is the roadmap that we started. We started this in 2014. We started with setting the strategy that we need. Then from there, we picked up and started working on it until we reached where we are right now. In 2015, we established the baseline, and then we went into the integration and proof of concept. We started between 2015 and 16. Then we moved into the initial development and early pilot projects. We started as a pilot project, small project. Then we went into the Route 2020, which is a huge project. However, we decided to go as a pilot project on that project. Some people also told us this is a huge multi-billion projects. You're doing pilots on such a project. We said, yes, if we're going to risk it, we have to know the outcome of this practice. By implementing it on a multi-billion projects, we will know the benefit that will come out of that. Then we went into, from 2018, we started the multi-pilots projects. We started to get the lesson learned from these projects. So right now in 2020, Alhamdulillah, we have a complete BIM rollout throughout the RTA. So all our projects now in RTA are mandated to use BIM. This is where we are right now, and we have also currently we are working on Route 2020 still, and some buildings, pilot buildings projects that we are doing for the buses. We are implementing BIM on it. Okay, we go to next. So relation between asset management and BIM. Now, for example, I'm in charge of asset management department in RTA. And why we decided that BIM should be in asset management, not in let's say, IT department or any other technology or operational department. So here's the definition of assets. Now, this definition was taken from the ISO 55000, which is said that it is a coordinated activity of an organization to realize value from assets. In turn, asset is an item, thing, or entity that has potential or actual value to an organization. So in BIM, building information modeling is also a coordinated set of processes supported by technology that adds value by creating, managing, and sharing the properties of an asset during its life cycle. So it is directly related to the assets, and all the information are in assets. In RTA, we have a centralized system for all the asset information and asset management. Thus, having integration between BIM and our centralized asset management information system was essential, and that's what we did. And we also have the 3 Bs. What we got is that build before physical build. So virtually building it. So this is how we went. This is how BIM was. The ownership of BIM went into asset management department. Value of asset lifecycle information. Now there are 4 stages of asset lifecycle. The 4 stages are plan and design, construction and commission, operate, maintain, renewal, disposal. Now, the years that are showing here are not applicable to all type of organization and assets. However, this is for RTA, because our assets usually lives for much longer time, such as roads, buildings, bridges, tunnels. It extends more than 30 years. It goes up to 50 years. So this is how we managed to lay it out and see what are the value of this information. In the beginning, now, the information of assets, where do you get the information of assets? Most of the information you are getting during the operation and maintenance. In the beginning, you are getting 15 to 20% of information of those assets. During operation and maintenance, you are getting the rest of the information. So these information are crucial to us to be recorded properly and followed. So this curve, what this curve is showing is that the cost of the typical cost that needs to be spent to get this information. In the beginning, there's no much information during the plan and design, so you are getting the drawings, the general layout, these things, which is the cost is very minimum. However, during the construction and commission, the cost will be higher because you need to spend more money, more time to get all the information before handover. Once it is handover, it will lower the cost, but during the mid life of the assets, again, the information will be crucial, and you will be spending more and more time to do it. Now, by the end of the life of the assets, you spend huge time and money to get all the history and information of the assets. Why? Because you want to decide whether you need to dispose it or keep it or renew it, spend more maintenance on it. So for that decisions, you make sure, because it's a huge decision for a multi-million assets, so you need to make sure that the information is correct. That's why you spend so much time on it. Now, this is the typical line. For the best line is to be like this. This shows how it should be. Now, again, you will not always get the best, but the BIM will give you this line, which is much better because it is constant, and the cost will be much lower. You will spend little more during the beginning of the project. Let's say, for example, if you, in typical situation, you are spending 100,000 on this information. If you implement BIM, it will cost you maybe $1 million. However, in the next years, you will see that the cost will reduce dramatically, okay? So in this case, this is what we want to reach. This gap, the current focus is between these two lines, the best and what we have in BIM. Again, we are trying to do that, and this area is where we're gonna save money and have more information about the asset. And this is how we convinced our management why we need to spend millions on BIM in the beginning, is that we're gonna save a lot later on, and we'll have more information regarding our assets. Okay. These are, as I said, the targeted focus. Now we go to the 3 P's that we have: people, processes, platforms. Having all these 3 will give us the governance on the BIM. Now, in people, we have the training and education, we have rules and responsibilities. In processes, we have the configuration management, info exchange through Lifecycle. We have the procurement, we have the pre-qualification also. In platforms, we have the softwares and the common data environment. These are all explained in our policies, the internal and external policies of BIM. Yeah. Corporate governance standardization documents. These are the documents that we created and we are following in RTA. The RTA BIM policies and organization info requirement. We have the contractual adaptation to BIM within RTA. We have employer information requirement for each project, digital plan of work and data exchange protocols, and we have the supply chain readiness assessment. The concept of CDE throughout asset lifecycle. Now, what we did here, we initiated the concept of common data environment to cover the lifecycle of the assets. The RTA CDE segmented into two platforms, as shown in the graph: the CapEx part of it and the OpEx part of it. So we have these two platforms. The CapEx platform is used for the project's phase for all internal and external teams, while the OpEx platform is used for the data related to operation and maintenance activities and their teams. So integrating these two together, we managed to cover the whole life cycle of the asset. Yeah. So this is the OpEx platform, sorry, and this is the CapEx platform. Okay, and we call it the common data environment. Okay, here are some of the successful BIM implementation, level 2 BIM implementation projects. We have the Metro Red Line extension, Route 2020. We have the enhancement of metro station project, Satwa Public Bus Stations project, Oud Meta Public Bus Stations. These are all implemented successfully, and we have a good results out of them. Here are some other projects also, Union Bus Station project, Kifaf Bus Stations. Now, when we are talking about these bus stations, they are huge buildings. They are not just a stop for a bus. And this one, it's a complete facility for buses. That's why it's hundreds of millions cost of projects. That's why we implemented them on them, and we concentrated. And we have the Dubai tram also. Okay. Here are some samples, the samples that we talked about. Now here, what we got is that support communication and decision making, providing 3D graphical model for rich data, support sustainability analysis, BIM CMMS integration, asset information management, GIS integration with BIM, common data environment, single source of truth, special coordination, collaboration working, managed communication with external stakeholders, use of BIM for construction sequence animation, the 3D simulation. Okay. The red line that we talked about, that we implemented BIM on it. So this red line metro extension Route 2020, one of the big projects that we worked on. It's an around 12 kilometers of elevated route and 3.2 tunnels. So total is around 15 kilometers. It was a huge multi-billion project. After implementing the BIM on it, we got a good results. So here, for example, for supporting the decision, now internal and external visualization. After we did this, we enhanced the understanding and support decision making. The BIM capability of clear visualization is supporting the communication between all stakeholders, internally and externally. And this minimizes the coordination cycles and of course minimizing the time. By minimizing the time, this is the crucial thing, because time is really money. So minimizing it, we reduced a huge cost in this project. Availability of 3D models is also allowing for better imagination and facilitating the decision-making process, as the management can take quicker decision by selecting for the design options upon seeing the 3D model. We used to take a huge time, a long time to take decisions during all times when we are depending on the traditional drawings. But since we implemented BIM with the 3D models, we got a better visualizing of the project, and we saw all the pros and cons and crashes that's in the design, and it helped us to take quicker decision on these things. Okay, so this is the next slide. Providing 3D graphical models with rich data. Here's a small video. Let's just play it. Yeah. Okay. So this video is showing the level of details progress at each stage of the project. You can see the progress of adding more and more graphical and non-graphical details. which are improved from design stage to the construction stage and improved more and more at the as-built stage. It started at LOD 300 in design stage to LOD 400 in construction to LOD 500 at as-built stages. So as you saw, the more we progress, the more information we are getting on the drawings. And of course, this is direct integrated with our systems. So as an asset management system, and it will make it much easier for us to have this information even before handing over the project. It supports sustainability analysis. Now, BIM data generated during the design and build enables faster, safer, less wasteful construction, more cost-effective, sustainable operation, better maintenance, and eventually decommissioning of the assets. The BIM enables measures and compare embodied and operation carbon associated with different options. On-site fabrication of common components eliminates over-ordering, reducing waste, and allow off-cut materials to be reused or recycled. Using coordinated models for fabrication means effective fit on the site. So again, this we achieved by implementing the BIM. So here is the next stage. The CMMS integration, asset information management. By using BIM for the full life cycle stages, the information is extracted from BIM and integrated with Maximo seamlessly. We are using Maximo in RTA. We integrated all the BIM softwares with our Maximo. The OPEX stage needed information had been translated in the CAPEX stage as required in the BIM environment to be delivered upon handing over. Again, this workflow shows how we link the BIM with the Maximo and what information we are getting in Maximo. Okay, we go to the next slide. Okay, BIM and GIS integration. This is also a crucial integration that we did between GIS and BIM. By using BIM during the CAPEX stage, the information attributes can be extracted from BIM at the handover stages and integrated with the GIS environment. This will help RTA to get clear, accurate information for GIS and allow proper implementation for the single source of truth. The GIS needed attributes had been identified and translated into the CAPEX stage as required in the BIM environment to be delivered at the handing over phase. Again, the picture is very small. It's not clear, but this gives you the idea how the input of BIM and the data comparison is going through until it reaches the GIS. Digital implementation cases, we have the infrastructure, maintenance, inspection, remote condition monitoring, remote information gathering, automated inspection regime, construction process and inspection peer assessment, and construction process progress inspection, cut and fill. These are some of the digitalizing maintenance and operation practice that we are doing. We implemented these things, which in the next slide, I think we can show. Yep, here. The infrastructure maintenance and inspection, we are using drones, not only for inspection, but even for operation. It can go through check the cracks, the maintenance requirement for the bridges, for the inside the tunnels, and all the information that we got from BIM is translated into Maximo, and this is also connected to all our maintenance is over there. So we are following up with the drones, with the robots, for internal cleaning. It does not just clean; it does some other inspection also. Okay. Let's go next. Yes, the video. This video is the construction progress inspection here. Okay. Okay, and in this video, you can see the sensors that we are using, samples of using some sensors in remote and acoustic information gathering. So we are gathering all the information from these sensors, the rail track and rolling stock. So here there is a track on the and here if you have some intruders in the tunnels, also it will detect that there is a movement in the tunnels. So we can detect the movement in tunnels, we can detect the cracks on the rail, we can detect the wheel itself if it's grinding too much. So many types of sensors that we use to get the feedback for maintenance. Sorry, so over here, the next slide. Automated inspection regime also, we are using all type of technologies right now to do it digitalizing, no paperwork, no these things. So we are using tablets and iPads and these things to do information recording for the maintenance. We can take photos, connect it to GIS. We can upload digital data directly into the applications, automated data integration. It have an offline compatibility, operates in tunnels also, structured inspection progress. Next slide. Okay. In this video, also the construction progress inspection. This video is showing a sample of the utilization of drones in gathering accurate information needed for inspection activities and assessment for repair during construction stage. So not only after handing over a normal maintenance, but even during the construction, we can get all this information from the drones. Okay. Now these are the information translated into point cloud that can be converted and compared to the 3D model of the same pier to facilitate conducting easier inspection and assessment. Okay. This slide, construction progress, also inspection, cut and fill. Using the drones to gather the needed information for the cut and fill activities during construction stage, which supports getting accurate calculations for the materials. This was helpful to supporting the logistics analysis and for safety. So these were accomplished also by using the drones. Okay, let's move to the next slide. These are some of the recognition we got internationally. We are the world's first BIM Level 2 certified organization. We are the first organization participated in launching PAS 1192-3 and 1192-5 guide marks. The world's first asset owner achieved BIM Asset Lifecycle ISO 19650 framework. These are some of the recognition, and here are our BIM room, which we do all the operation in it. It's a state-of-art training center for BIM advancement knowledge, an interactive environment equipped with advanced technology and controls, collaborative, coordinated environment for optimum decision-making during the life cycle of assets. Okay. BIM training programs. We have so many BIM trainings programs internally and externally, mostly internally. The program covers 4 levels of an enterprise training regime. We have the quarterly awareness sessions yearly previous training courses, advanced training courses for BIM software and platforms, and the supply chain customization training. Now, we made sure that during the past years, we cover as much as we can of employees to train them and let them know about the BIM in RTA and what we are doing, as well as training them, even if they are not using it right now, but since they are in construction and operation and maintenance, it's good to let them know and have the knowledge of BIM. This is basically our presentation. Thank you for listening, and we are open for questions, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Saeed Al Ramsi, for a very enlightening and a very interesting presentation on the BIM implementation in RTA projects. Now we are joined by Mr. Wajid Marib from the RTA. He's the BIM manager from RTA, and he will answer some of the questions. Mr. Wajid, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning for you, and thanks a lot for your introduction.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, Wajid, here is the first question. Did you face any challenges in implementing the BIM technology due to the lack of awareness among the contractors? Because the BIM technology, though it is known, but it has not really penetrated into the contractors as yet. So how did you overcome that challenge?
Yeah, actually, BIM is a contemporary technology that had been used in the last 10 years, let's say, in different levels. So as usual, such a new technology should face or may face, but actually it was facing many challenges. One of the important challenges that the understanding of the BIM and the awareness about the BIM, the level of learning that people in the universities and in the in all the engineers levels, their awareness and level of education that they have about BIM was a big challenge actually. But right now, after this long journey or long success journey, I can say in RTA, after 6 years of launching the BIM implementation, we already managed all these challenges. I can mention that according to the understanding from the very beginning for RTA, as Mr. Saeed presented, we put our strategy to move with the BIM step by step until we reach to the level of rolling out the BIM at the end of this year. So in the last 6 years, we did all the needful, let's say, documentation for BIM. We trained our teams and we mandated the BIM in some of our projects in order to collect the lessons learned and in order to enhance the level of BIM maturity in all parties or in the teams of consultants, contractors, and of course internally in RTA. I can tell you that the biggest project that Mr. Saeed presented that was using the BIM is the Route 2020 project. This is 11 billion dirhams project, and you can imagine how many contractors, consultants participated in this project. Imagine that all of those had a mandate to implement the BIM and to use it, which means that they learned very well in this project. So RTA can be the market leader in changing the minds of the BIM industry in Dubai and in UAE, of course, because of this project. Too many consultants, too many contractors did this BIM for our project. And accordingly, we can say that the maturity of the market is enhanced right now.
Okay, thank you very much, Wajid. There is another question here. How fast can you detect an error, which is like a cracked rail or a bridge or an invasion to the restricted premises? I mean, how fast it can happen? Is it like instantaneous, or it will take some time, or there is through some periodic inspections, or how it is?
Look, this is one of the inspection regimes that is followed by RTA from long time. But right now, with the use of drones and new techniques, we are getting to the level of real-time information about our assets, and this is our aim. is to have real-time monitoring for our assets by using drones, by using the digital analysis for these for the information collected from drones and other techniques.
I see. Okay. Apart from the awareness, was there any resistance from the mindset of the contractors? Because the contractors are used to work in a certain way from so many years. So now suddenly they're required to do certain things additional, like uploading the documents and the data on a real-time basis and always. So was there any resistance, and how did you overcome that?
Yeah, actually resistance is there everywhere when you have a new technology and different entities in different teams. But again, you need the leader, you need the owner, or RTA as a client needs to be aware that nothing can be done if you don't manage how to deal with the resistance. And we dealt with that actually, as Mr. Saeed presented. We have training for different level of trainings, training courses for our internal team. And by the way, we mandated that training for our supply chain teams in the EIRs, in the Employer Information Requirements, which was part of the contract that we had with our supply chain contractors and consultants. I can tell you that the resistance is a habit that the human has all the time. So you need to manage it. And we manage that through training courses, through participating in such events or summits and conferences also. We used to participate in many internal and external events inside UAE or outside. And also we organized the RTA BIM Summit during the Big Five event in yearly basis in partnership with BSI. That was 2018, 2019. Unfortunately, this year, because of COVID, we didn't do it, but we are with you right now because of that. And other than this, we used to conduct workshops and gathering the feedback from our supply chain in every single action that we are going to do.
I see. That's great. Thank you, Wajid. And the last question now, was there any significant any time saved in executing the projects? And generally, typically, how much time can be saved in a project by implementing the BIM technology?
Thanks for your question. Actually, BIM benefits are can be categorized in three main pillars: the time, the cost, and the quality. For RTA, all are important. And we felt that during our BIM implementation in our pilot projects, we can realize right now how much time we can save with using a 3D model for visualizing for visualization purposes, and our management can take the decision quicker when you show them the 3D model. Imagine how much the BIM was helpful in resolving the RFI, the request for information, and how much it was helpful in the coordination of the interfaces, especially when you are talking about projects that have billions in value, and they are fully with interfaces with other stakeholders and also inside the supply chain. So the BIM was helpful for us in all of these. Additionally, we had been notified by our supply chain that the BIM was helpful for extracting the shop drawings, the design drawings, and of course the as-built drawing. Additionally, it was helpful for quantity surveying and all these. So the BIM is supporting the time, save the time of the project and all these aspects.
Thank you very much, Wajid Marib, and thank you so much for joining us. Thanks, Saeed and Ramsi, for making that wonderful presentation. Thank you very much once again. And
thank you so much.